been through something other than outrageous amounts of nepotism. Yep, that's what I think.
Go ahead, favorite the show, and enjoy AD on the go. iHeartRadio presents AD.
Funkhouser, other people feel our pain. Other people feel our pain with regard to having comedic names. Carmen says she hates it when people call her Carmen Sandiego. And this chick, Sherry Dawn, said, I've had my share of Oh Sherry by Steve Perry or Sherry Baby sung to me. Yes, I am alone and I will not come out tonight. Very good. Very clever. Well done. Jeff Habits, Jeff, who listens to the show all the time. I'm not even going to... He's got one of those. Well, it's just, no. His name is German, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it. Even though, like, my family's German, I should. Jeff Habis Reitinger. If you could tweet me and let me know what the phonetic correctness is with that one, I'll feel a lot less like a clodhopper. He said, "Everyone can say my last name. Suck, 14 letters, German, and way too easy to butcher." Oh, no, everyone can see my last name.
No one can say it.
No one can say it. Everyone can see it. I was like, really? Now I feel even stupider. Today in the show, a no Muslim allowed firing range has popped up. Well, no, it's been there for a while. They adopted the no Muslim policy this week. Can open, worms everywhere. We'll talk about that shortly after we finish going through the events of today in My Witness News. No way, shape, or form fair. Certainly not balanced. What else is going on in the world, Funkhouser?
You'll never believe it.
What's that?
The trailer for a movie has come out. This movie is called Taken 3. They got her again.
In the new movie, Liam Neeson reveals he has a particular set of skills that allow him to shamelessly do the same thing over and over again so he can cash a giant, and I mean giant, check. Although, it's kind of weird, though. Liam Neeson being this, I never would have thought of Liam Neeson as being an ass-kicking badass. Like, what else has he been in? I really don't. Like Schindler's List, right? That was what made him famous. What else has he done?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Anyways, what else?
Well, Gwyneth Paltrow turned 42, and Chris Martin and Kate Hudson went to the birthday party.
By the way, that sentence Funkhouser just uttered couldn't get any whiter, even if it involved organic kale in the French cinema. Rejoice, white people. They are having their moment. What else?
Leonardo DiCaprio has broken up with his supermodel girlfriend.
Yeah, though, to be fair, she's 22. And it's not like he wants to spend the rest of his life with some decrepit old hag. Time to trade it in for a younger, flashier model. Oh, God.
I'll never let go.
I was shocked to learn that he's older than us. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah,
maybe it's because...
How much older? Not very much.
Not much, but I was just... Maybe it's because, growing up in the 90s, I don't know what the hell show he was on, where he played a kid, or I still think of him as that What's Eating Gilbert Grape kid. Was he in that movie? I think he was. And I picture him as a kid, and he's like 41, 42 or something like that.
One of those ageless dudes.
Not really. Have you seen him? He's going for the Jack Nicholson look, kind of hardcore. But in your mind, he stays like an impish young... I don't know. He draws French chicks naked before he had hair on his nether regions or something. That's how I think of Leonardo DiCaprio. This rather precocious young man who got onto the Titanic. And despite his tender years and the fact that it didn't look like he had any hair going on south of the equator whatsoever, had gotten himself into a situation where he'd been able to draw multiple French girls naked. That's how I always think of Leonardo DiCaprio. That makes sense, right? That hangs together.
Yeah. I ran into him at a Target once.
Really? What was he doing?
He was buying a birthday card.
Really? At Target?
Yeah. Yeah, like 5 minutes before closing. Because he has a house in the same city I grew up in. So he was floating around there. I said, hey, what's up, Leo? Not really. I didn't say anything, but...
Was he looking for the now you are 16 cards, you can be my girlfriend? if we hang out in England mostly.
Sweet 16 birthday card.
Yeah, sweet 16.
Happy
you can be my
birthday, my
girlfriend
love.
as long. Yeah. Jump on my private jet. Let's go away from American soil where this relationship becomes totally and weirdly legal. What else?
Die-hard Simpsons fans are furious that a much-publicized death ended up being a very minor character.
Yeah, also infuriating. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see the episode, but also infuriating Die-hard Simpsons fans. The fact that it's almost 10 a.m. and their mom still hasn't brought breakfast down to the basement yet. It's funny because in that scenario, Die-hard Simpsons fans live in their mother's basement.
Mom! French toast!
Go on.
Judge Judy says she posed for nude photos. I saw them.
Yeah. You did?
Yeah, 100 years ago. Did she do them
I was going to say, I
recently?
thought they blew up the cave wall they were painted on. When it comes to nude photos of famous judges, me personally, I'm holding out for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Oh, yeah. What else?
Who's that one? I'm not hip.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Google it.
Okay.
Then picture it naked. Then then get your girlfriend to rock you to sleep at night. What else?
Snoop Dogg's in the news. He says he'll play a concert in Alaska once they legalize weed.
That's Snoop for you. He's always making blunt statements. Hey, you know, Snoop Dogg's going to be, I think, 42? 42 or 43. I don't know.
Seems like he should be older.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's impressive when you consider the fact that it is 301 in dog years. See what I did there?
Did you do the math on that?
Wasn't it? I did, actually. I did do the math. What else?
In the wake of Michael Phelps' recent DUI, Ryan, what's his last name?
Lochte.
Ryan Lochte called Phelps dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, as he says. It's kind of like Kim Kardashian calling someone a fame whore. It's just like Ryan Lochte, like, I mean, obviously tremendously gifted athlete. And there's not too many times where I look at someone and go, they're stupid. Like, that's like, Ryan Lochte, not so much with the IQs. Like, I mean, I'm not judgmental. I'm able to sort of like suspend my disbelief and my belief that people are cloth heads by being like, well, you know, they might be very emotionally intelligent. They might have great street smarts. They might process things in a slightly different way. They might be more of a kinesthetic person. They might be able to create great art. No, Ryan Lochte, dumb as a box of hair.
Delivering fascinating subjects, interesting talk, and boobs and fart jokes. AD on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, oh, let's go. Talking that mess, better act like you know. Oh, let's go tonight. Walk away, punk, yeah, bitch. That's right, I know this. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. So walk away, yeah.
Tracy Morgan has responded to Walmart's somewhat ignorant claims. Tracy, in case you did not know, he's fighting back against Walmart for claiming he's responsible for his own injuries because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt when a Walmart truck plowed into him when he was riding in a limousine, I think. He said, quote, "After I heard what Walmart said in court, I felt I had to speak out. I can't believe Walmart is blaming me for an accident they caused. My friends and I were doing nothing wrong. I want to thank my fans for sticking with me during this difficult time. I love you all. I'm fighting hard every day to get back." In case you're not familiar with the whole situation, Tracy Morgan was hitting the town with some friends, and knowing that there was a chance for inebriation, he did the responsible thing and took a limo. One of Tracy's friends was killed in the accident when a Walmart truck slammed into him. He and several others were injured, and they're justifiably suing Walmart. Yeah. You know what? We could do a whole day on what's going on with that and the implications for Walmart. But we'll get to that at a different time. And it's nice to see things finally work out for him. Derek Jeter said he went from feeling like an old man in baseball to a young man in life. In an interview airing on the Today Show, he said he's 100% sure he's not returning to baseball. He also said he's looking forward to retirement because he's only 40. Kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio. You have a hard time believing he's 40 because, you know, if you grew up in the 90s, you were just aware of this young phenom who was, stupid allergy season. Who's kicking ass and taking names. See what I did there, Funkhouser? It's
Beautiful.
allergies.
Beautiful.
Not the fact that I'm dying because you got me sick. Thank you. Thank you very much. You'll be hearing from my lawyer after he gets done with Tracy Morgan's case. Oh, God. You ever read Calvin and Hobbes growing up, Funkhouser?
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't, you're missing out. Like, it's great to read them as an adult, but if you missed reading them as a kid, then, I feel bad for you. But there's one where Calvin sneezes, and then he looks at the handkerchief, and he goes, phew, no brains. That was one of those sneezes. That was a oh, good, no brain sneeze. Anyways, I suppose Calvin wouldn't be 40 years old. Anyways, Derek Jeter's 40. And in the real world, that's not really that old. He said, it's funny because someone had mentioned to me I went from being an old man in baseball to a young man in life, and I liked how that sounded, so I consider myself young again. Jeter also said he almost broke down in his last game at Yankee Stadium. He was on the field in the 8th inning. The Yankees were up 5-2, and the fans were chanting, "Thank you." But then Baltimore tied the game. Jeter said, my emotions just immediately changed. Now it's, you got to go and hit. And I'm like, I can't believe I got to go out and try to do this again. So everything changed from being sad to being excited. Once I was excited, then I kept it together. Oh, oh man. It's got to be crazy hitting 40 and realizing, okay, in my chosen profession, I'm done. I'm at the end of my rope. What now? It was interesting. I remember going to my shrink when I was like 32 or so and being like, dude, I'm a mess. I haven't gotten anything together yet. I don't understand anything. I'm not sure how stuff is going. I just, what the hell, man? What the hell? I feel like everybody has it more together than me, which sounds like such a whiny bitch thing to say, but you worry. You worry as you get older and you start to make your way in the world. And if you're like me, the things that cause your worries are, I worry about being a contributing member of society. I worry about maybe one day having kids and being able to look after them in the right way. I worry about being a good dad. I worry about all of these things. And you worry that you can't pull any of this stuff off if you're not a fully formed, functioning adult. And I remember going to my shrink in my early 30s and being like, hey, I don't think I've got it together. I don't. I really, no. And he was like, don't worry about it. I was like, really? He was like, yeah, most people don't have it, and I quote, together until they're about 35. I was like, really? He was like, yeah, most people don't start really feeling as though they've sort of got themselves figured out and their place in the world figured out until they're like 35. He was like, I think you're way ahead of the curve just because you're thinking about this stuff and you've held down a career for a really long time. And I was like, okay, all right, that makes me feel a little bit better. But I was just thinking about it, and if the average human being doesn't kind of start to piece things together and figure stuff out until they're about 35, well, Derek Jeter hasn't really had it together all that long. So he's essentially putting a toe into the precarious waters of fully formed adulthood at the age of 40, being totally done with his career. On the one hand, he gets to start over at a point in life where it makes sense to start over, and he has pretty much every resource necessary to do that. On the other hand, it's got to be a little daunting. Interesting. Not something that any of us can really relate to, not having been tremendously successful athletes, but interesting nevertheless. You wonder where it's going to go. Now this is something that applies to significantly more of us. A shooting range in Arkansas has declared itself a Muslim-free zone. Curious. If you have an opinion on this, feel free to tweet us at ADSXE at FunkFM. An Arkansas shooting range has declared itself a Muslim-free zone. The owner of the shooting range in Arkansas said she has declared her business this Muslim-free zone, citing public safety concerns following the Oklahoma beheading attack over the weekend, Which, by the way, the FBI is like, yeah, nothing to do with radical Islam. It's just nothing to do with radical Islam. It was just a case of workplace violence. Really? The guy had all sorts of Al-Qaeda shiz all